Woohoo! Hey there, everybody. This is
Good afternoon.
Josh and Jim back again for another D&D chat today. We've just, or on Jim's side, it's Jim and Josh. But
Both work.
today we're because I was talking to Jim and it's like we're streaming these sessions and we're getting new people in that are wanting to like watch them, and some people are picking up on episode 8, but like then there's like Greyhawk and people are picking up on episode like 58, so
Yeah, very true. Very true.
so we just thought we could do like an update, let everybody know like how we got to where we are, and share some of our favorite memories from these campaigns so far.
Okay, so are we going to talk about the non-plu campaigns, the ones that have ended? And
We can talk about some of them, yeah, because I mean, I've got them archived at least. If nothing else, I've got
yeah. Okay.
Waterdeep
Well, let's
and
just get
stuff
those
like
out
that.
of the way. We had Waterdeep Dragon Heist, which we still fondly refer to.
I love Waterdeep. Wawa Derp.
Wawa Derp. Obviously, casualties of scheduling. You know, the big bad that we can never really deal with in an appropriate way. That life happens, man. Real life happens. Work happens. People move. This, that, and the other. And I think Waterdeep was just a culmination of bad schedules and a bad timing that kind of put us into a rut.
Yeah.
But honestly, I was talking a lot about Waterdeep on my stream earlier because I did Dragon Heist, kind of a breakdown on it. Go ahead, dude.
Oh, no, I was gonna say I loved Waterdeep. I did a lot. Like, yeah, Hades is definitely one of my worst characters I've ever made, but I liked it well enough.
Well, and kind of in reference to that, the low light for me on that in hindsight was geasing you guys. That was still me being a DM that was adhering to the story and not adhering to my own spiel about the players have chosen their own story. You're in a city that can support any fucking story in the world. Let the heist go. It doesn't matter. They don't care about it, so why should I try to make them care about it? And we could have gone an entirely different way, never seen any of that, and still experienced some of the content. So that was a mistake that I made.
But we're spoiled children. We would have been mad if we missed it.
Well, okay, that's fair on your side, But yeah, from my point of view, I think
what? We don't get the 500,000 gold. What? How dare you?
What do you mean, man? Yeah, so I mean, we've
all
had
we
the stone for 3 months, for fuck's sake, man. I mean, shit.
All we did was spend a year in game making a bar. I mean, come on.
But the plus, and I guess that's where it seemed like obviously a lot of it was scheduling, pacing, and all that. But the pace kind of seemed, the mood and the theme seemed to change on that when it was like, all right, fuck it, you're under arrest, you're under arrest, you're under arrest, you're geased, you're doing this under threat of banishment. Go get my money. It was like,
yeah,
So it could have been handled a little bit differently, in my opinion. It could have been completely ignored. Shit happens. It's okay. Someone else got the money. Y'all are having too much fun doing the bar. You didn't have the easy money, so you may have had to do another jaunt down into the dungeon of the Mad Mage to, we ain't trying to do nothing but find a treasure that we can pawn so we can replace the windows again, because this time someone let off a fireball inside,
Oh, and it would be that kind of place too. Don't even worry. Oh, people would hate us. The neighborhood would be so against us.
Was that Shen's mama?
I was gonna say,
Mama
Shen's
Shen?
mom. Oh my goodness.
So that was but I mean, I loved that campaign as well. That's probably out of the ones that we've started and stopped or wished would lived on. I really wish that one would have, because that's a perfect example. Hey Wally, thanks for dropping in. Good to see you. Yeah, we're just talking, our campaigns, the ones that we actually have played or are playing.
Yeah.
The goods and the bads about them. But yeah, that's one I really wish we could have kept going, because it was so invested in people. It was truly a player-driven and a personality-driven campaign. That was one of those where we had to find excuses to roll dice. And then when we did, it was absolutely magnificent. I mean, if you ask some people, people still remember the fucking dodgeball game as a highlight in that game. I mean, just from a die rolling, stakes are high. How can this be this important of a die roll in a fucking dodgeball game with some street kids? If you blow this, we don't get to go to the next spot. Please make the roll.
Making a gambling addict out of Hades because somehow I kept winning every game that we would bet stuff on. I'd be like, I'm good at these.
Right.
I've never played
Yeah.
this game before, but I'm
Had a
good at
question
it.
for me and now Josh from a building perspective. Kick it in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, go for it.
we're always talking, chatting, and but yeah, that was I'm gonna keep chatting, talking, but
Yeah.
as soon as you pop up, we'll read it out. But yeah, the Battle of the Bands was something I know you guys were all about, but we only got to do it one time.
Yeah. But I mean, it's
You
still fun,
know?
like coming up with like ways that we could use our spells and abilities to like make our show more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
So
was
you
fun.
guys were really, that was the fun thing for me. It was old school role playing in the sense that you guys were using your characters as tools to experience and exploit life in the city.
Yeah.
And you were having a lot. I mean, you were always on that edge of legality, man.
Yeah.
and that's a fun thing about Waterdeep is there's big ass code of laws that, hey, welcome to the city. They sign here, read this. Don't let me see you again.
Yeah.
Okay, Wally's kicking and using the races as aliens and not from Earth. How would you spread them across the galaxy?
Like, that's a weird question.
Like the D&D fantasy races spread across the actual real life galactic area, our solar system, including moons and asteroid belts? Or are you talking about getting into all kinds of like
Yeah,
extra?
those are gonna be my questions.
These guys are from Centauri. These guys are from Andromeda. Draconis Combinus over here.
Yeah.
Because honestly, Wally, the thing that I'm telling you is if you like that, our Warhammer 40K did it way better than I ever will.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me. I appreciate the question, but that's what I'm gonna. That's kind of the descriptions I'll default to answer that. Like if elves are from different star systems, which but I'm going to default to video games on that because I'm a gamer all the way around. I think old Star Frontiers. If you're interested in the sci-fi version of D&D, it was basically a Roll20 system. Let's simplify it and call it that. It was an offspring of the BECMI system that was set completely in space, fucking space fighters and laser guns and power armor and all that shit. Yeah. So man, maybe you pop back into that and kind of use that as your base galaxy, and you can actually kind of assign things from the theme. Ad not hearing anything. So sorry, man.
Oh man.
I'll be here. Subscribers.
No, 100%.
My apologies. We're here, but yeah, I'll kick back around it. Just I'll keep an eye on chat when ad's over. I'll kick back in.
Yeah. I don't even know how you would go about setting that kind of stuff up, though. Like, there's no real reason that they can't all exist on the same planet as far as fantasy is concerned. Like, none of them have like special needs, really. I mean, there's some water folk that need water, but I mean, like.
But I mean, and the you had a couple Planescape Spelljammer that kind of addresses that as well that are already there.
Yeah.
The challenge there, I think, is taking it and actually adding a star map to it. So I mean, if you want to pull down a modern astrological chart off of Google and kind of play with it there, that could give you something. There was actually a second edition product, the Astromundi Cluster, that gives all of your 1E, 2E fantasy races at least a home base in this cluster of basically a couple of worlds that exploded and went explode, go boom, bullshit. A neutral ground as it was, a setting. It was a really well-built setting to work within Spelljammer. Take all the Spelljammer parts, plop them in this one neutral ground for the it's Astromundi Cluster. Look it up. Matter of fact, tomorrow's Friday because I'm gonna be running my mouth from Planescape for the next month. I'll probably talk. We'll pull that out. So if you want to join me tomorrow for my lunchtime chat, if I see you around, remind me, Wally, and I'll pop that sucker out. That's what you're doing. You're making your world bases off of what the movie Treasure Planet and Spelljammer. Yeah. So if you're familiar with Astromundi Cluster, that might be something that feeds into that really well. If you're not familiar with it, shameless plug. Come back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. My Friday lunchtime stream. I'll pull it out. We'll dig through it, talk about it, and you can see what it looks like before you spend a few bucks on it. Yeah. Good questions though. But yeah, that's kind of one of those.
The Treasure Planet is an amazing movie that doesn't give as much credit as it should. I love Treasure Planet. So good,
Yeah.
good choice.
Yeah. And like I said, this is where I'm going to default to being kind of a lazy dude and say, there's other people that have done it better than I am, so why am I gonna really go through the effort of trying to? That's nah, man. That's a really good wheel. I'm gonna borrow that and put it in my world. Yeah,
I mean, I could make a different kind of wheel, but then I'd have to change the roads and.
yeah. So yeah, absolutely. If it's kind of near what you need, then you change what you need to change to fix it, because it's a lot easier just to adapt 3 or 4 pieces than to kind of try to rebuild the same thing. That's my opinion of it. I wouldn't know where to start. I mean, as soon as I start, this is gonna sound how old and fucking geeky I am. If I start thinking star maps, my brain goes to Star Control 2 because it was based on actual astrological charts, and I remember cruising all over the fucking universe, dealing with all those crazy ass weird races, building up the super cruiser to blow everyone to hell. It was
you
fun.
say sci-fi and fantasy races together, and I think Shadowrun immediately. That's what I always go to.
Shadowrun.
Yeah.
Well, and for me, yeah, Wally. So it's like Star Control 2. It's like the sirens. Those could be your Asimir, the ores. Those are on and on. And so yeah, I've got way too many fucking odd rando references to be clean about it, man.
But I 100% would just full.
Shadowrun was the shit back in the day. That's hell yeah,
I would
Wally's
full on 100% steal the fucking orcs from Warcraft if you're gonna do that. Just like, what? How do they get through space? Because they believe they can.
You mean Warhammer?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. Yes.
Never mix the Warcraft orc
My
up
bad.
with Warhammer.
Yes.
No, I'm a Warhammer orc fan, dude. I love it. Paint red, go faster. You guys
exactly.
fucking rock, dude.
I love that they just like they like found a portal to hell and we're just like, this is what we do now. Like, we just fight demons.
Wog. So yeah.
Yeah.
Good content, good property is always gonna transcend the system. So so Waterdeep was a good one, and honestly, I think it would be a fun one to revisit sometime.
Yeah.
If we get the right group to get back around to it, knowing that this is the background, it doesn't really matter if we do it or not. That was me falling back on my own saying, this city's just so fucking big, it's not gonna matter. I did the math and I figured out 500 grand it was 10% of the tax income for a year of the city. So it's like, and in my brain is like, what kind of city gonna let that kind of money walk out of their treasury and not rip the entire city apart to find it? It's like a city that makes 5.3 million a year.
Yeah.
That's a rounding error for Waterdeep, dude.
Oh shit, man! I forgot to add that last 0.03%.
Right. So that's the plus side of using Waterdeep is the Dragon Heist is great. It's there as a framework. There's a ton of content that can let you, and if you have a group that just really wants to role play and just be thieves, man. And what makes being a thief fun is the risk of getting caught. There's an entire criminal system there. There's designated fences. There's go zones. There's no-go zones. If you want to play the hoity-toity nobles, there's 153 noble houses.
Yeah.
Jump on in. If you're into the whole bar life, there's, oh my God, bar, brothel, fest hall, just anything you'd want in a city is there. So I want to go back. I want to go back.
Yeah, we made a masquerade place into a fucking an Eyes Wide Shut club just because Jim was like, oh, a guy answers the door and he's wearing a mask. And we're like, what the fuck kind of place is this?
I was just thinking like Lone Ranger mask type shit, and all of a sudden it went from bird mask to zipper mask, dude. Yeah, exactly. Wally, there's so much to do in Waterdeep. The catacombs. Yeah, and if you don't want to invade the catacombs or the 3 levels of sewers, there's a 25 level dungeon built into the fucking mountain next door.
Absolutely.
Shit, you don't ever have to leave the walls of that city, and you go from level 1 to level 20. But yeah, with the problem is I don't want to say the problem. The problem I had was forcing stuff on them and not realizing the city's too big to force shit on people. You can't do that. Let them have fun. If it doesn't go their way, it doesn't go their way. There's still 99 other things that they can do to make up the difference, man. And let them find it because they're big wigs in a city.
Also, for anybody that's out there that's never looked into Waterdeep, if you know what Danmachi is just Waterdeep. So if you ever just want to play Danmachi, that's what it is.
Yeah, this is now a totally different stream. Oh, it's This is where we
Yeah,
start.
we'll
We're
get back
gonna,
around to it. Don't worry.
man. We like 15 minutes in. It's gonna go all over the
Yeah.
place, man. We're early.
But
um, but yeah, so the next one that we had to kill, which I was enjoying from a structural standpoint, was Avernus.
Yeah.
Another casualty of war for the schedule. Ironically, it was the same a Thursday night. A few players in the same players in the same camp. Life happens. That goes to show. No matter how hard you try, no matter how good you think you are at D&D, no matter how much everyone's into it, a couple schedule shifts happen on one side and the other side. You're SOL, man.
Absolutely.
So, and that's kind of what killed the Avernus campaign.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think we were all enjoying that.
You guys
one.
were into that. Everyone was really into it, getting into their role, absorbed into what they wanted to do. As rando and as crazy as Waterdeep was, Avernus was
the opposite. Yeah,
fucking cut straight to the point. But then we know we're smart enough. That's the side mission. We're going here. Fine, you know. And that was I don't want to say a challenge. It was fun.
Yeah, I was
because I didn't have
right where we were. I was so interested in seeing where we were going to go from there, especially from my character's point of view, because I was playing the lawful stupid paladin, and they were like, "We're going to have to sacrifice souls in order to make a machine work." I was really interested to see where that was going to go.
Yeah, so real life killed that one, but
yeah,
there was a lot of moral questions going on in there. We had the tiefling warlock who was all of a sudden just pushing the right buttons, but digging a hole deeper and deeper for everyone in the process. And then Mr. Barbarian, who's just hugging everything and loving everything and not really even aware of what was going on. The wizard, who everyone knew had some sort of agenda, even though he said he was just here to map, and the cleric who was like, fuck, we shouldn't even be here because that city and everyone in that city deserves what they got,
100%. No, I love that.
And then
she was like, no, fuck those people. They're assholes. No, fuck them.
She was, and Val Saltra, played by Cindy, really absorbed the lore and understood the whole thing behind why do you even care about them fucking holier than thou bastards that probably deserve this? We're the heroes. So it was a really interesting dynamic amongst the group.
Absolutely.
But there wasn't any antagonism. What was awesome about it is they were able to carry that contrast without a building of antagonism.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I really appreciated. There was the conflict of values, there's a conflict of views, but it never turned into bickering. It never turned into anything because you guys looked up in the sky, saw dragons circling, saw chains vibrating, didn't see a sun, smelt sulfur, and knew like the moment we start fighting each other is the moment we're fucked.
Yeah.
So it was a fun campaign. It was a good campaign.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one a lot.
Highlights for you.
Oh man, from Avernus
as a player.
I'm thinking about the fucking justice thing, the Batman moment that I had. We were in the middle of a fight and it broke out into the street, and I was in a building, and so like the only way I could get out was through a window at this guy that was on the other side of it. So I just jumped through it, just like justice, and just grabbed the guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely go out on a limb and say that was one of my better built encounters and maps and everything with the detonating fireball.
Oh yeah, I like
that. Was all part of that same thing because that was where you jumped through the window to chase that. No, that was a different one where you went through the window.
No, I think it was the same one where we had to help the people off the ground that got hit.
Yeah, and then you were trying to chase the cultists down and
yeah,
that was a hell of a campaign. And then Phil was role playing his ass off trying to get the guards to not fire at the crowd as the crowd was flashing into the wall. Yeah, I'm gonna break my arm as I pat myself on the back because that map was really good. Setup was good, and you guys did good. There was a sense of urgency that for whatever reason in that moment in time. Now at DM to behind the scenes sausage. There was probably, how you made the size. There's probably 40 tokens between my guys and what they were responsible that were in play at any given moment. And we went through 9 rounds of combat in that situation in about a session, maybe a session and a half. And you're like, that's a long time. That's a big fucking event.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They were on guard patrol duty. They had one simple thing. This dirt strip from the base of the wall to where the village is has to remain clear. So they're patrolling up and down, and this is by the way descent into Avernus. So lots of refugees have already pulled out of Elturel. We're by the Basilisk Gate, and on the map it's different than what you see in the video game, just so you know. But yeah, so I had the Cult of the Dead 3 seated throughout the crowd, and I'm describing fire, big burst of smoke and orange fire turning into black smoke, 300 yards down the wall, then 100 yards down, and the crowd is paralyzed in fear, and everyone's looking at each other, and everyone stops, and then all of a sudden, boom! So the fireball goes off. They basically just cultists, being psychos that they are, dropped a freaking necklace of fireball at their feet, blew themselves and everyone up near them. Bad. So the party's trying to keep the people from getting to the wall, so the archers don't start shooting in a panic. Telling the archers everything is okay, trying to pull the wounded out, and trying to avoid the few cultists that are left. It was a phenomenal battle.
No, it was great. I loved it.
That was a great battle.
That
was like the third thing we did.
I would say that even though like some of us like were fairly powerful in that campaign, I don't think that any fight that we ever had was ever like one-sided at all. Like I think that everything was like so on a razor's edge throughout that entire campaign, where it could have gone either way at any point in time.
Well, because not every fight was based on killing the bad guy.
Yeah.
A lot of time, for example, the ghouls that were hunting down the family, y'all were fighting reckless as shit because you knew there were two kids getting chased through this ruined apartment building.
Yeah.
And there was a barb devil up on the Spinagon spine devil sitting up there flapping around throwing shit at you. Ghouls are tearing stuff up. I mean, you guys just jumped in straight up. And that's why it was dangerous.
Yeah.
If you would have done your normal, we're going to shoot and hide, it would have been an easy fight for y'all, but a family would have got et. So it was, yeah, exactly. The situations and the scenarios really forced a change of tactics, and this fucker's making us fight how he wants to fight, and this ain't fair, but it's fun.
Absolutely. I think that's what I really enjoyed about that campaign. Is like really like the combat in that campaign has been my favorite probably from any campaign that we've done, just because of stuff like that. Yeah.
And let's be honest, that was probably one of the, just we're looking at classes on paper. That was probably one of the most balanced groups we had.
Oh, absolutely.
Paladin, Barbarian, Warlock, Wizard, Cleric. Dude, I mean, everything was covered 2 and 3 times. There was redundancies for every ability in that group.
Yeah.
So I was able to use a lot of really cool shit to make the fights really fucking cool, and you guys had a lot of tools at your disposal to fight creatively and fight, intelligently through it. It was fun.
Yeah. Now we can we can move on to our actual campaigns that we're playing currently now.
The live ones now, yeah.
Current live plays that we're doing.
Which one?
So we can start let's just go through the week. We'll start with Greyhawk, which is what we do on Tuesday nights. Yeah. Yes, everybody.
Yeah, we didn't get to play. We're not going to get to play Greyhawk. Yeah,
this week was kind of my fault.
Well, and then tonight will be my fault. We got a birthday family celebration. But all right, Greyhawk. You guys that have been with me, following me for a while, chatting with me, whatever, my love for Greyhawk, and we've made references to this. This is literally set in the old school Greyhawk campaign world. Oerth, Faerun, not Faerun, Flanius, excuse me. Just a culmination. I built it exactly how we used to do back in the old day. Here's a fun module. Ooh, that's a cool one. That's fun. Now, fanning them out like cards, how do I turn them into a campaign? Done. So that's all it is a collection of really cool adventures, really cool modules that I've strung together, in my opinion, into a cohesive adventure to take them from level 1 to 20. Some stops, some starts, but it's actually been another setting where just so much to do. Yeah, another setting where there's just so much to do. You're right, absolutely.
That place is ginormous. Like if we decided we wanted to say fuck it and just not do the campaign that we're doing currently, we could pick up and move somewhere else and never know what the fuck happened. Well, until the Doom Grinder went off. That would be the thing that would have to pull us back in.
No.
Well, I mean, I guess somebody would stop it if it wasn't us. You got a circle of 8 there. They could have done something.
Absolutely. But yeah, there you go. But that's why I love that setting, because I have the confidence for any group to fuck off and do what they want. I got your back. I got you covered. There's enough big, crazy, weird stuff going on from the moment you say go to where your group can do that. It's really genuine. But it's also got all your classics in it, man. Your Tomb of Horror, Temper of Elemental Evil, White Plume Mountain,
Baba Yaga.
Axe of the Dwarvish Lords, Dancing Hut of Baba Yaga, the Slaver series, the Giant series, Against the Giants,
Greyhawk
Vault of the
itself.
Drow. Huh?
The
Castle
Castle
Greyhawk,
Greyhawk
yeah.
itself,
Shit.
yeah.
Exploring the Rift itself, yes. The Rift Crag Canyon, the big old thing up by White Plume.
Yes.
Man, that's what Wally. That's one of my favorite regions that it just really doesn't get used much because I think nowadays I could probably play more in there because back in the days that was the evil territory. I don't know. This might show my age. At the start of 3rd edition, they went with Living Greyhawk, so they geographically assigned each area of the campaign world. It was kind of the version back then of how what is it, Adventure League that we're playing now. I'm not personally playing it, but that. So yeah, but each region of the real world was assigned a region of Greyhawk that was their official Living Greyhawk. So we ended up with the Bandit Kingdoms where I'm at. Now it's fuck yeah, baby, because yeah, we were neck deep in the Rift. White Plume was our western border, man. So we had a lot of fun with that. There's so many evil things to throw at the party and not lethal, but can make them actually role play. Yeah, the lots of thick stuff. I like it, and this is me being an old dude. It's like education time. You guys buy the book Mordenkainen. Do you know who he is, where he came from? It's cute that everyone thinks Tasha's just Tasha. This is who she really is. Tasha's Cauldron was when she wrote that when she was like a 15-year-old in whatever.
Yeah.
Tasha's fucking Igwilf, dude. And we're not even talking about Ivid, Assessorak, Caraptivus, Rigby, Bigby, Rary, and then Ayaz, who's technically a demigod. It's just, so many big bad guys, so many evil things. And that's why I like it, because, what Josh said, the first thing is they could say, fuck this place sucks. These guys, we're going to the coast, and we're taking a boat. Yeah, but no, you said we could do it. We're going to do it. Okay, fine. They're going to run into another big, huge issue wherever they go.
Yeah.
Or they could cause their own big, huge issue. Because that's the plus side about it. Yeah, well, it's so black and white of a world. There's certainly gray in there, but because it's still an alignment-based world, a national and politic-based setting that they can fall in with whatever team they want. They can go free agent. There's always an antagonist. There's always a protagonist that needs heroes in that setting.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about it.
I would have to say that the first thing that comes to mind when I think of like good moments is that time that Terrace killed a man by punching him in the kneecap.
Hey, I got no control over her doing more hit points than he had and her saying she wanted to punch him in the knee. Okay.
Yeah. She did. She straight up fucking killed a man by punching him in the kneecap.
Dark Captain come up. If he died by getting punched in the knee, he ain't much of a dude. Get him out of here. Oh shit. My goodness. That's
I love that. I was gonna say, turns out she caused a brain aneurysm. That's what happened. She sent a blood clot up into his brain.
Yeah, so many evil things. Yeah. I mean, but that there's so much I love about the setting. Campaign wise, it has been a little bit of a challenge because it's not an optimized party by any stretch of the imagination for what we're trying to do.
At all.
It's more of a special forces type of a thing, maybe, or a one-off type of a party. But campaign, we're doing the best we can. Yeah. And I just got to bite the bullet and start throwing Kiogtum's ointments at them. Like, I got a freaking t-shirt gun shooters or some shit, man, because damn.
Absolutely.
You guys, we've talked about that before. When we made references to through experience, if you don't have something to deal with conditions, you hit a certain point where the monster manual is about that thick.
Yeah.
And your player's list of abilities is that thick, and it doesn't line up anymore.
Yeah.
But if you start adding the conditions back in, all of a sudden it's a thing. But if they can't deal with any conditions, they end up with that much to do. So that's the balancing act that's been Greyhawk the last couple levels.
Yeah.
Is now they're getting 5th, 6th, 7th, almost. They're 8th level, aren't you? 7, almost 8.
Yeah, I think we're
7 almost 8.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Once you finish this, you guys are 8, which is decently high level. Shit, most of Wizards campaigns in between 10 and 12. So, and this is like mid level for me. You hit 8, you're mid level for this campaign anyway. So
yeah, we're 7th.
But at this point, even we've hit the challenging point of
Yeah,
You know,
because none of us can do anything about status effects at all. Like, we have 2 people that can do a little healing, but yeah, we're not
the
very balanced at
Ruin.
all.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. The
it's to
name
a
of the
point
Elder
where like
Tree.
we've been talking about like how do we hire a cleric to like walk around with us? Like, it's gotten to that point.
And they may have to go old school retainer mode on it.
Yeah.
You know, I, I'll hang out at camp with your dragon wagon, and if y'all drag the dude back to me, I'll cast on him. But I ain't going after you crazy ass fools doing that shit. No, that's still not going to help because
Yeah.
you know
Be in the field, we
if
have to.
everyone's switching in the field and he's back at camp hanging out with Lasco.
And that's the
you
thing.
know,
Yeah.
I wonder when they're going to be back. Well, I guess they're not back. I guess the dragon wagon's mine. So it's something we talked about, and even the players have kind of kicked around the idea of, well, I think every one of them's got a healer as a backup character right
Oh,
now.
absolutely. Yeah.
I'll be the guy that falls on the grenade. I'll be the guy that falls on. No one's willing to fall on the grenade, but everyone's prepared in case if it drops.
Yeah. Yeah, I've told you multiple times. The only reason I haven't done it is because I'm the only fucking tank we have right now. Like, legitimately, like if it wasn't for that, I would 100% fall on the grenade and bring in a cleric.
Yeah,
But then we would have no defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's an interesting situation. We got a sorcerer, a wizard, a monk, a rogue, and a armor artificer.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got some ridiculous damage output, but as I start actually broadening the types of creatures they're starting to face,
Yeah.
they're hitting some limits. It's like threw 3 giants at him and they owned it, dude. But they putting out the damage.
Yeah.
You
I mean, you throw
not hard to kill a giant when you. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but yeah, you throw a couple of fucking banshees or anything at us that's like undead that can do any kind of status effect to us. So a mummy lord, anything, like we're done. We can't do anything. We have nothing to get rid of paralyze, nothing to get rid of poison, nothing to get rid of anything.
Well, it's like as simple as using entangling roots, restraining them. They're burning dispel magic, so they're not restrained for the worst shit that comes. They can deal with some of the status effects with dispel magic, but I'll take that trade any day, man.
Yeah, that's fair.
If my little peon dropped a 2nd level spiky growth on the ground, and you dropped a 3rd level dispel magic,
yeah,
4th level, 3rd, 4th, done and done, man. I'll appreciate not getting hit by that lightning bolt or that dispel magic when you hit the boss later.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's smart play. You guys play smart, but yeah, that's kind of part of the problem as well, is they have to overextend in some situations to deal with what is normal for a nominal group.
Yeah.
Yeah, some good gameplay, strategic gameplay, but resource heavy to deal with what a cleric or a druid standing there would be able to do with a 2nd level slot for everybody, hypothetically.
And because of like the way that our stats roll out, like there's a bunch of times where I like people like me where I'm having to give up my spark of intellect thing just to have people survive rolls because nobody has strength.
Yeah, so it's an interesting build. It's an interesting group. I love the setting. I love the campaign. I think it's hit a challenging pocket, especially when the dragon came out and stomped on you guys like the bear on the trash can video, and that kind of brought everything into focus at that point.
Bears are fucking wild.
Bears. Y'all beat the shit out of bear.
I just mean like in real life, man. Bears are scary.
No kidding, fuck that, dude. That's a lot of monster. And it's an animal.
I saw a video one day of one of them just walking up to a car and it put its hand into their door and just pulled the fucking door off of it just nonchalantly. I was like, the fuck? No, just screw that noise. I never would have.
Pass your side. Pass your side. Get the hell out of here. Right. But
we should talk about like how, like where we actually like where we have gone. So let's see.
In what, Greyhawk?
Yeah, because we want to catch people up on where we are currently. So like where we started off as. We've gone through a few different players in that one. So, but
Greyhawk? No, we've only gone through. Yeah, we've gone through. Yeah. No, just 2 that aren't playing now.
3 of us are the current. Yeah, only 3 of us.
3 of us
are the same. Yeah.
Well, so we lost Garrett.
Yeah, and
took us to 4 to 3, and then we replaced him with Gorloon, who then was replaced with Goodness. Same player though.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, the same player had the opportunity to change into something and went from warlock to sorcerer. So whatever, man. Y'all had someone that could have been a cleric 6 fucking months ago.
That's true. That's true.
But it is what it is. If anything, I believe in player agency, good or bad. But then we had the Bard, who was there for the briefest moment of times. He played for a couple weeks, and then scheduling popped up, and then we have the Wizard.
It wasn't scheduling that popped up. He had twins.
Yeah. Twins popped up. Yeah.
Babies happened.
That's scheduling, dude.
Fair, fair.
I mean, you have no life. Your schedule ceases to exist at that point.
Negative scheduling.
Yeah, so I guess we've had we're up to 5 players plus the 3 absentees, so 8 players totaling 10 characters, 9 characters. Good news, 9 characters, 8 players over the course of over a year now, right?
Did Andrew change characters? Was he? Or was he?
No, he started with Damien.
You're right. You're right. For this version of the campaign,
This version, our first run at it, which
was Wyatt, and then
no, he was Orso then Wyatt.
Oh, I thought
he was Wyatt then Orso. You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
But yeah, fucking so yeah, our basic group started off as Garrett, who was a half orc,
Eldritch Knight.
Half orc Eldritch Knight. Traver, who is a gnome artificer. Terrace, who is a halfling monk, and and Damien, who is our human rogue. Yeah, and we kind of got pushed together because we were kind of protecting a caravan towards the start that went wrong, and we were like, "Fuck it, we're gonna go somewhere smaller." And try to pick up from there, and we kind of went to Twofold from there, where we were tasked with where we had to go save a farm first. Was the first thing that we did, right? The guy, that's how we got our horses.
Yep. He had to go out to the Blackfriar, Lord Blackfriar's manor.
Yeah.
And something's messing with his herds out there. Something's eating the cows out there. I ain't got the troops to send down to him, and fuck him anyway, is what Captain Morso was like, so I'll send you guys.
Full agreed. No, after we met him, full agreed. Fuck him anyway.
Yeah, so they went progressing from there. What do you remember what you fought that first time?
Man, I wouldn't say assassin bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, am I getting the name wrong? I know what they were, but I wasn't sure if I was getting the name wrong or not. But yeah, assassin bugs is what we wound up fighting, which is
they sting in, put a worm. Think of a gigantic wasp with its babies like a rock grub.
Yeah,
it stings you. The egg gets inside of you. It hatches. A little worm eats its way to you, eats you, and then turns into another one after a few days and pops out of you.
Yeah, so if you guys are ever watching us play Greyhawk and you wonder why we talk about Damien having a patch of skin on his leg that's upside down, that's what happened. Was he got one of those injected into his body and he cut it out, and then I healed him, but when I healed him I put the piece back on upside down. So that's what that's about.
Yeah. So embellishing in some of the actual moments within the gameplay to add flavor to our campaign forward.
Yeah. I just burned it out.
I still remember Terrace. She sat that combat out that first time with that troll. I am not fighting that. I'm going to sit here and play my bagpipes. Fuck that. That's gross.
We walked into a cave that like in the very first thing that we see is just this troll, and he pulls one of these things out of his body and just like eats it. And she's like, no. Just immediately she's like, none of that for me. I'm gonna stand out here. I'm gonna play some bagpipes. You guys go handle that.
So that's kind of one of those moments that you relish as a DM, where you've done your presentation of your monster well enough where your player like, oh hell no, out of it. But we gotta fight. Well, you can fucking fight it. I'll wait out here. I'll drag your shit out, but I ain't going. No. So that was a fun one.
Thunderstruck.
Yeah, that's right. She played Thunderstruck on the bagpipe. So that was a pretty memorable first fight.
Oh, I enjoyed it a lot. From
the Mummy Rot fight.
But I was
gonna say, there it was pissing off the druid.
Yes, that's where we went after there. Was we wound up getting a child killed, probably. We still don't know if he's dead or not, but probably. because we took a break. We didn't need
Fuck
to.
him. We're gonna take a short rest.
Yeah, we
But
didn't need to.
my you don't want to wait with us? You can go. And he's rode off. He's being a dick. We're gonna take an hour break. Okay, get there and the farm's burning. They climbed up on the roof. The on-keg came up through the floor, knocked all kinds of shit around in the kitchen, and people died.
Yeah, that was a whole fucking situation. And then we kept calling the druid Ivelia. We kept calling her ivermectin, which she was not a big fan of that.
She tolerated it until she came up on the farm and you guys were going through the burned remains of the house. And then she said, I never want to see you again.
Do you know what just dawned on me? I don't think we've ever found the shapeshifter lady yet. I don't think I still don't think we've run into her.
No.
It just dawned on me. We've not followed that trail at all for a minute.
Oh, dude. We got
Lasco and we were like, fuck it.
Yeah, the doppelganger gang got away with it scot-free. The uncovered Karen with the mummy lord still sits there, door prop slightly open.
Yeah.
You've superpowered a demon cursed necromancer.
Yes.
120-year-old lady who's been trapped in a teenager's mentality and form for that long.
Yeah.
April Ludgate with a shadow demon attached to her.
100%. Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
And you're like best buddies with the necromancer chick. You guys are like, whatever. Hey, baby, what can we do for you? Yeah. You know, and the town folk that are like getting eaten. Fuck you. We're eating lunch.
We like her. I don't know. She's nice.
Okay. That's cool.
She's nice to us at least.
She's nice to y'all at least. Yeah. Well, y'all were cool to her. You weren't all judgy and shit about it.
Yeah.
So that was the second star, Karen. You're still convinced, I think, even if you won't admit it, that Diamond Lake, there's something fishy, creepy going on there.
Just Andrew.
There's nothing.
They're just Canadians.
It's like, yeah.
I live with one of those.
I'm literally I'm trying to role play an entire town of Minnesota Canadian border type people and just taking the nice mannerism, and everyone is so nice and pleasant, and thank you for your signature, have a nice day, okay, fuck off. Yeah, I'm so sorry, what did I do? But
I'm thinking about that guy who does like the Midwest skits all the time, and he's like, yeah, Barbara was like coming on to me earlier and she like asked to see my pocket jerky. He's like, oh man, you want some of mine? And he just like takes out a bag of jerky from his pocket. It's like...
So that's how the entire town of Diamond Lake has just been playing. Sweet, nice, polite, naive, and it jacked with the group the first day they were there, but everyone else got over it quick. But we have one suspicious player.
Yeah, he's like, no, nobody's that nice. We ran into the Golden Girls. He's like, those are hags. Like,
yeah, I literally put the Golden Girls in. Well, because it's like there's. Number one, they were kind of surly, mean and surly and crotchety old ladies, which the Golden Girls are, if you know the show. The rest of the town is a bunch of super sweet, nice, wannabe Canadians. They're like, fuck off, bastards. So no one's helping them keep their house in good shape. So the rest of the town, even despite earthquakes and all that, they could see the damage from. It's been a lot of people put a lot of effort into it. This house looked like utter shit when they walked up on it. Old lady opened the door. What do you want? They're like, oh, hags.
I love that shit. I love it. Man, the worst thing is that that man's walking around with a jacket that one of them made for him. So I mean, like, if anybody's gonna have anything bad happen to him, it's the main one that's afraid of them.
Right? No kidding.
Oh man.
So we've had some bag of beans fun.
Yeah.
You've met. Bigby is the first of the real true named characters you guys have actually met.
Yeah. Who terrified everybody in the group.
I was bored that session because I was genuinely expecting some shit.
Oh yeah.
Questions, comments, something. I was like getting all kinds of lore exposition and all of this ready, and everyone's like,
yes sir,
Mr. Bigby.
No, sir.
Yes, sir, Mr. Bigby. Okay, Mr. Bigby. Is there anything else, Mr. Bigby?
The worst thing is that like I play a character that doesn't believe in magic, and like even he is afraid of this man, where he's like, nah, fuck that noise.
So if you know anything about the adventure path, I have Expedition to the Ruins of Castle Greyhawk planned in there. and there is a plot line that's keeping Big B in town right now. Otherwise, he'd be out doing Circle of Eight shit. You know, that's kind of he's like pissed off to be in town, but even more pissed that he has to be away from town dealing with this shit.
Yeah.
But I didn't play it out. I don't think I played it out as like angry.
No,
I'm gonna blow you guys up and turn you into frogs if you don't fucking do this.
No, he was.
I just think it was
nice.
Yeah, I just think it was just the sheer. That was the players buying into the lore and the legend of the non-player character and building them up into more than I had to play him. You know, because they're like Bigby, blah blah. He's the Book of Giants. So I did the whole backstory on. He was actually a chaotic evil wizard that was, you know, in the dungeons of Greyhawk that Gary Gygax through Mordenkainen took over and turned into a good guy. But there's number one there that seed in there, and if depending on if you read Greyhawk lore, there's statements he's like one of the top three of Mordenkainen, Rary, and Bigby. It's kind of a toss up between those three as far as active magic users, wizards in the world of Greyhawk.
Yeah.
Tasha don't count because she's not on Greyhawk anymore
currently.
Right, but raw magic use. I mean, if we're talking just shooting spells, she's not in that group. As much as I'm a fan of her, she's not in the raw magical power of dump. She's in the dimension door out, go call her boyfriend, and her boyfriend shows up with a fucking army to beat you up. That's her power. You know?
she's the manipulative one. That's what she is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lilana Vest type of a person. She can create an instantaneous army of shit that doesn't matter. Yes, absolutely. So, but yeah, as far as just pure spell count magic, who's going to blow up who? Mordenkainen, Bigby, and Rary. You know.
Yeah.
So they know of Rary as this overriding threat to the south of them in the Bright Desert down there, who hasn't featured a fucking lick yet in your adventure.
Nope.
You know, and doesn't need to. He's busy. You know, I don't care about that shit. You know, but as a DM, as a DM, for me, it's an option to really tie it in from a strategic standpoint because of all the lore and the history it's in the game.
Yeah.
You know, he betrayed the Circle of Eight because he thought Circle of Eight was getting too softer in the war. So what's to say that Rary isn't the engine behind the entire operation to fuck up the city of Greyhawk?
I mean... I guess we'll get there. I don't think it...
Exactly.
None of us really have that big of a tie to Greyhawk, though, so we probably would be like, meh. No, I'd be like, oh, man, exactly. That's where my guild is.
I'll come back in a year and make some money building it.
Yeah.
You know, and Terrace is like, my monastery's there, but they're assholes. So I don't want to be there. Hey, how you doing, Karen? Thanks for dropping in. Just chatting some old school. We're just chatting our campaigns today. But yeah, so Terrace's character, she has personal ties, but not positive ties.
Yeah.
Damien, he was a resident of Greyhawk, and he's happy to never go back if you ask his opinion on it. You know, and the other two were kind of in and out, and that's it. So yeah, the city, despite its name in the campaign and presence in the world, doesn't mean a lot to y'all personally.
Strangely enough, I don't think any of us really know Damien's background at all. Like, he's always just been like, oh, I'm on vacation. Like, none of us know what he's on vacation from or what he was doing before.
You wonder if he even knows.
I was going to say, I don't even know if he knows.
It may have been so long since he built the little story in his head. I don't know. Yeah, that's up to y'all. You know?
Yeah.
He's made a couple potent enemies along the way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know?
Needs to be on vacation for being an asshole.
There's only a small section of the Karen Hills that has
not allowed to go back to.
Flat out no. If you walk, oh dude, motherfucker walking right down the center of the street, dude. Like,
God. Okay.
And I even tried to give him outs, man.
Okay, so we wound up in this town at one point in time, and like their main thing is that what was it?
Fork.
Yeah, Fork. Yeah, we wound up in Fork. And it, you know, their main thing is that they're like a mining town and stuff like that. And
think Pittsburgh, smelting and that kind of stuff. The ore come in, the ingots go out.
Yeah, and so basically we get overheard talking about like let's get these guys to unionize and get them out of here and stuff like that, and it just one thing led to another. that town stopped making copper for a minute, and and he talked all
Yeah.
this shit about like, oh, we're gonna come out, we're gonna meet you guys, we're gonna unionize, we're gonna take over this city, and then we never went to go see any of the people.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So that was one of those role play moments where so they start going on a rant, and they kept going, and it was like adding fuel to the fire. And I'm just like, did you guys walk away from? No. And this is all in character? Yeah. Okay, there's about 40 people surrounding you, throwing their hammers on the ground and their shovels on the ground, saying, right, yeah, what's a union? What's a labor? But we're down for it. Yeah. So,
let's take these guys who
yeah,
live in a feudal system and talk them into fucking unionizing. That'll work.
socialization. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we're in a feudal society, which means if you don't work, you don't eat. Matter of fact, you don't even live here anymore. So they doubled the bandit count within the Cairn Hills around the city of Fork, because all of those dudes and their families got kicked off as Greyhawk imported a bunch of non-working immigrants that have been sitting in the city because they left their homelands and got took over by Ayos and are happy for the work. You
Bunch
know.
of scabs.
So but that's the beauty of the world, though, man. All of the history and all of the stuff that's there is really quick and easy to make logical jumps. Your players have the freedom to do what they want there, because there's a strong enough support system to support whatever happens because of what they do.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it.
Um,
But it feels like it's kind of hit a stall, a stagnation.
where we are right
if
now,
I'm
yeah,
being honest.
I feel the same way. I do.
It's like I'm just dying to get the hell out of the swamp. Maybe once we
Yes.
put this behind us,
Uh,
get up out the bog, take a breath, get back to the keep, high five, win or lose, get the fuck out, and get to the next step. I'm hoping that
yeah.
something kind of
No, I
makes it
agree.
pop.
I fully agree with you.
You know, it's
But
like my favorite setting, my favorite campaign setting, and it's like, damn.
yeah.
Sometimes it feels tedious. Sometimes, man.
But I mean, and I really think it's just because we've spent so much time in this one area, and that's really where what it's coming down to. And I agree with you. I think once we get out of it, it'll pick up steam again.
I hope so. Well, but again, this is real life, and honestly, if this would have been a 4-month-old, a 6-month-old campaign, with as much as we had to miss in the past few months, I probably would have killed it too. We're like a year and a half deep on this, and it's like, oh man, we can push through this patch. We'll be okay. So coupled with getting mired in a tough part, making some bad plays, and having a lot of fucking misses, we haven't got into a good rhythm. We haven't gotten into good cadence for this section.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just been an ass whoop, man.
Hopefully next week, because my dumbass thought we were off this week and I didn't come to the campaign. So hopefully next week we will be able to get out of this place, or at least finish it, and then get out the next week if worst case scenario.
Man,
Yeah, I'm hoping within the next 2 weeks to get out of this place.
I'll say it on camera so you can quote me. I gave you the secret, and I gave Cindy the secret to bypass a little bit more of the trouble and get moved in the right direction.
Yeah.
If you guys go in the right direction, there are 2 encounters before you get to Sakatha.
Okay.
3 if you find something special.
Okay.
So you just
Yeah.
like I said,
We just gotta
remember
push
you're
it.
in it. You got to figure out where you got to go now. That's all it is. You can if you continue the direction you're going, the most you're gonna have if you go through the entire fucking crypt and fine tooth comb it, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 encounter rooms plus the hidden treasure room. That's all that's left in here. So it's not big.
Okay.
I cut this thing way the fuck down.
Okay, good. I mean, not good that
So
you cut it down, but like good that that's all we have left.
Yeah, so we should be able to finish it next session if we're pretty quick and thorough and on the same page and get the fuck out of Dodge.
No, I fully agree. But definitely like as much shit as we're talking right now, come to that session. We're still having fun. It's still funny. It's still good times.
Yeah, it's still a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, just in comparison to some of the other ones,
especially our next one that we're going to talk about, our Thursday one, which I think all of us are.
Oh,
our Thursday campaign.
Yeah. So Greyhawk, but that's going to be something that all bullshitting aside, if you're a long-term dungeon master, long-term group, you're gonna hit those stretches.
Yes.
Think of all of those. Unfortunately, this is a bad parallel because we're actually fighting almost every fucking session. But think of those long travel sequences in Lord of the Rings where they had to go this and there's boring stretches, and you have those lulls in your campaign. This is a lull. I mean, number two, not only has it kind of been a lull in story, maybe it's also been an increase in difficulty. I don't know if the difficulty spike that I threw at you guys has had as much to do with it as well. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if it's that far really. I mean, yeah, we definitely got our shit rocked like a couple sessions ago, but like,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
But I mean, I don't. I mean, that's just one session out of 1,000 so far.
Well, no, the other session you guys went, the first time you went to the temple where we turned that
That's
into a
true.
bad dream, you guys were fucking
Oh
toast.
yeah.
On
This
the
one it should
island,
have
you
been.
guys dropped two, what I want to say it was what, 5 level 3 spells to deal with a group of lizard men and their crocodiles, and still took a little bit of damage.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Before you even
So
got too
I have
close.
amped it up a little bit more in regards to challenging, but so that may have, it's okay. Like I said, once we get through this, I'm confident that get the fuck out the swamp, get the mud out from between our toes, take a shower, eat a warm meal, sit in the keep, play with your animals on your wagon again. Have a I need to plan a beach episode, and
Yes.
and then let you guys, decide where to go next.
Yeah. But just as a real quick summary, we are currently doing the Karen Hills thing. We're going through and getting the Star Karens. We're what this is our third one that we've done technically. We know for a fact that another one is activated, and we know where one more of them is right now that we can hit immediately. So I don't know if that's the one that's
Basically,
activated or not, but we basically have one or two more Karens to get through before we get to the
if you
final
look
one.
at the map of the Cairn Hills, I had to just do some dirty geometry, but basically there's 3 ley lines that run through the different intersections, and the old Suluese wizards, the badass guys back in the day, built labyrinth or laboratories along each ley line that were just each of them was dedicated to a specific school of magic. Now, in addition to that, they were laid out in such a pattern as to provide support and energy and a transportation network to each other. Um, but some strange, hey, Purple, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. Some strange
Hello.
catastrophe happens at the point that the 6th cairn was in the middle of this big old heavy duty experiment, right? So something happens and magic bad stuff ripples through all of the weave, as it were, the ley lines of magic in that area, and to greater or lesser extents, there's bad shit that happens in each of the laboratories. So they're then turned into cairns and abandoned by the Suluese wizards. And this was 1500 PC minus CY, probably 1500, 2000 years before our players have gotten here that this happened. So that's what they're trying to go through right now. There is a geometric pattern that they're going to have to figure out to find the 6th one, and they have to activate all 5 for the 6th to even be accessible. So what they've also hopefully been figuring out is that there's a large group of Darrow and Duergar that are going through the hills doing the same damn thing they are, looking for the cairns and looking. Now, the one thing that the players learned from the Duergar is that there's 3 artifacts that they're looking for. Something called the crest, the spear, and the orb, or the egg.
Yeah.
So, there's the hunt is on, the race is on, the race has been on. Thankfully, the Duergar have encountered a bunch of problems at the same time that our players have, so the Duergar haven't gotten too far ahead of them. Freedom of DM, bite my
Look,
butt,
let
but
them get to the fucking let them get to the aberrational one before we do, so they can deal with fucking
How do you think a group of Darrow and Duergar are going to deal with the Beholder? Do you think they're going to deal with the Beholder, or you think they're going to deal with the Beholder?
Yeah, they'd probably the second one probably. No, most definitely.
So, but yes, once they figure out, and you're right, you have the first Cairn activated, which was that's where we lost Garrett. We had to collapse the crypt, and there's some DM magic to move past that one. But that one's being maintained by a local wizard. We're gonna make friends with it. Oh shit! Cindy says they're gonna make friends with the Beholder.
You first.
That's smarter than trying to kill it without a cleric in your group. or anything more. Yeah, that's funny as hell. But yeah, so the first Cairn is under the control of Catraccio, working alongside the Mage Guild of Waterdeep. The second Cairn they found was the one that has Necromancer Girl Yiliak in it, and it's well and fully under her control, and ain't no
100%.
motherfucker taking it from her right now.
Yeah.
Lizard Guy is hey, they built their temple as they defeated the Suluese invaders of old on the remains of the Empire of Man. So unbeknownst to the Lizard Guys, they're occupying one of the Star Cairns that's been turned into Sakatha's temple, which explains why this dude is so much more powerful as a wizard than he should have been.
Yeah.
So once this is dealt with, they still have to. Oh, sorry.
Well, no, I didn't think about the fact that he might be being jump started just like she is. Like I didn't think about that he's being supercharged.
Well, he's not nowhere near the wizard that she is. Number one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's not going to be that much, but more. But you follow what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So then you have the elemental, the conjuration, and then the divination, which is the sixth Cairn hidden somewhere. Everyone loves Terrace. Yes, baby.
Yeah.
Everyone loves
Everyone loves
Terrace.
Terrace.
Right. Man, well, you know what?
I
You're
mean...
like me or die. And she gives you that cute little kitty cat smile, all like fucking Unikitty and shit.
Was it? I think now that you mention it, page 271 says that's a good idea.
She knows how to quote the proper rulings at the proper time to make sure that things bad don't happen. Yeah, if you follow if you do join us for our Greyhawk campaign on Tuesday nights, yeah, you'll hear that quoted every once in a while when I'm getting a little out of hand.
Page 271 in the Dungeon Master's Guide says that he's not allowed to kill his wife.
I guess I got an edited version of the DM's guide or something. But I'm not going to risk breaking the rules, so it's okay.
Missing a page or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's been codified as a table ruling. But damn, page 271 seems to get longer.
It does, yeah. It's one
of those anyway, so pages. Yeah. But yeah, once we get it going, once we get back on track, get the fuck out of the misery of the swamp and deal with the lizard vampiric. Yeah, you don't make the rules. You kind of do, is what I'm saying, but that's okay, baby. We still love you. But anyway, we're gonna finish up with Sakatha, and we'll figure out. We're not gonna finish up with the dragon at the same time. Y'all be smoked.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I fought for real with the dragon when they're level 7, 5 of them, and I flew away at the start of round 3 laughing at them. And I asked them if they wanted a rematch, and they said no, we'll try dragon in a couple levels. So dragons are on the back burner for now.
Yeah, maybe 10. We'll come back.
Because she says so rude. Hey, Saf, thanks for joining us. We're just hanging out, talking some shit, talking our games, talking stuff about our live games, and if you haven't seen us before, come join us. Kind of giving you a summary of where we're at and what we're doing. We're finally gonna play D&D as Nobu Sunday. Awesome, good to hear, Saf. That's great news. Shit, yeah.
That's what's up.
I know you've been working hard on that. The art looked good on that character. Hell yeah, have fun with that shit, man. But yeah, jump on in if you want to. I promise. As long as we can hit it next week, we'll be done, hopefully, with the Tomb. Just so you know, if you're old school, what they're playing is a very stripped-down version of I6 Tomb of the Lizard King, published in 1983 as part of the Intermediate series. It shouldn't have been part of the Intermediate series then. That's why I thought it would work for Intermediate for 5th edition, because the motherfucker's stacked, excuse my language. It's a tough module, and it's a tough it's designed for 6 to 10 characters of level 5 to 8. So we went with 5 characters of level 6 to 7 in 5e rules, and they didn't hang. I had to strip that bitch way down. There's a hot buff tiefling bard himbo in the party. He is sweating. Saf is sweating. You go, man. Hell yeah. That's awesome.
We stand a himbo.
You stand united. You go. So, but yeah, that's where we're at there. But yeah, Doom Grinder's a module that's part of the Star Cairn series, Expedition to Returns of Return to the ruins of Castle Greyhawk is there. White Plume Mountain will be done. Ultimately, they're going to end up in Lost Caverns of Sothcanth, maybe the Forgotten Temple of Tharizdun, and then they're going to have a big pivotal decision to decide, depending on what they do in between here and there. Or they may not. Mama Igwil may be so pissed off that she just finally says, fuck it, we're done. And they're going to have to jump through a portal and start over in Sigil.
But
anyway,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, we'll move on to our next one, which is our Thursday one, which is
fresh,
yeah,
new.
Yeah,
haven't missed much. 6 episodes, 7 episodes in, or maybe.
I think last one
tonight would have been 8.
Yeah,
that's right. It's not very far in.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a good time. It's a very loose Curse of Strahd. Like, we're still in, Barovia right now. We're about to go to Vallaki, whatever you want to say. New Stanton. But we're calling it What We Do in the Shadows of Barovia. It is very, very tongue in cheek, like dark comedy kind of setting that we're doing for it. It's a good time. It's a good time.
I'm absolutely adoring the campaign because what are we looking at?
It's Jerry.
Oh, you got Jerry back there. I see his glowy ass eye. That's creepy as shit, dude.
It is. It is.
Jerry's kind of officially a character in the campaign.
Yeah, Jerry's
we're
the
tipping our hat.
5th character of our campaign.
and first, all the love and hat tip to Sam, aka Gude Sama, who has done such a good job of differentiating between the two characters as different. It's adding he's super creepy, man. And he's adding a lot to. Yeah, she does a great job with both of them. But yeah, it's an it's Curse of Strahd, but I don't have the dark streak to keep it dark and moody and dour for the entirety of it. So I always, people are always like, I want to play. Hold on one second there. I wonder, are there maps so filled in it even goes into everyone who lives in the villages and what they work at? I'm currently looking over a list of professions, wondering if I should try rolling up a few hundred and add names and perhaps links to create families.
You're talking to the right man.
You're talking to the guy that I build spreadsheets out that do the exact same thing. But what you're asking there, if you look at like T1, the Village of Hamlet, L1, Return to Secret of Bone Hill. What is that one? N1, Against the Cult of the Reptile God. These are 3 older modules. You can pick them up for a couple bucks each on DM's Guild PDF mode that do exactly that. Village of Hamlet, it gives you a map of the village. Each building tells you who lives there, what their job is, tells you descriptions of those. So I take all of those, throw those suckers into a big-ass Google Doc, and I go, I don't know, I've probably got 3,000 non-player characters between Greyhawk, the city, Greyhawk, the setting, Waterdeep, the city itself, Avernus. I don't even make them anymore. I just copy and paste one block out of there and put it on the new spreadsheet for a different area. I've made so many. But yes, I honestly, here's the thing, here's what I always say. If you don't care enough about your character to do anything more than give them a random name generation, your players ain't going to give a fuck about them either. The more depth you can give them, even if the players never see that, you start giving yourself support and structure to build bigger stories. If they do dive and bite on that hook, you've got the structure ready to make that just generic random dude into a more of a presence. As long as you know their name, you know what they do for a job, you know where they live, and you know what their family is. Your players can now relate to them and engage with them. So you can either leave it at that and they're a satisfying NPC, or you can suddenly put that little hook in that bait and drag them off to what you need to do. But yes, named, described, engaging non-player characters with defined personalities, in my opinion, gives you so much more freedom to move a story around.
That's fair. Yeah.
Good question. Appreciate you. Absolutely. Sorry about the rant.
No. I mean, I agree completely with you. Yeah. I mean, plus, I mean, like you giving your people their backstories, you know how they're going to react to, people saying certain things to them and stuff like that. Like, what their personality is. So, like, if your players are going to rub them the wrong way, kind of stuff. Yeah.
That way, it feels less arbitrary as well for me. I mean, I've got, in my spreadsheet, does not like adventurers. There's always the barmaid. oh my gosh, you guys are travelers. It rides up, but then I've got the Surly Flow style kiss my grits bitch pit in there, and I just make sure I know which name is with which person so I can keep it consistent. Yeah, I know it's very stereotypical. Guess what? Use stereotypes, man. Use the tropes because your players can connect to them just as quickly. Not everyone has to be this strange, weird, unique. Sometimes a farmer's just a farmer.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, I'm a second generation farmer. Give them a little drama. I just bought this section back from the old Lord. If I have a good harvest next year, I'll be able to buy that next plot, and we might be independent in 2 years after that. That gives you some drama, some depth for that character. Means nothing to the players, but when they meet that Lord, they're already in their brain going, greedy motherfucker.
Yep. 100%.
Not realizing that maybe this Lord is revolutionary and actually allowing people to own their land instead of paying a tithe on it. So they walk up into Mr. Castle going, hey, you that motherfucker that making that dude work his ass off to buy his ground, and we're going to come jump into your shit. And he's like, fuck you. You know? But if you've invested in, like
That's
you're saying, Cairns, if you invested in that structure behind the scenes, your players are now reacting to a story and a situation that is genuinely real life and really engaging. And it's based in structure and logic because you took the time to build it.
I think that a lot of us
and that structure can go anywhere. I'm sorry?
I think a lot of us forget that serfdoms exist, so a lot of us wouldn't even connect like, oh man, this guy actually owns his land? Like,
right? And that's where my players do suffer because I am a horrifying history geek. I'm like, didn't you know that? That's how the world worked? And they're like, we do now?
Well, I mean,
but yeah, it's a lot.
I just didn't think about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but that's where I make the connections. Yeah. Oh, that does make sense. Oh, yeah, that does make sense. Like the whole fork thing. When we start talking about what happened, you're like, yep, that makes sense. Everyone initially, no, well, yeah. Fuck, yeah, we fucked that up.
I did keep bringing up the fact that we were a feudal system, and I was like, it doesn't make any sense to try to get these guys to unionize. But yeah, I didn't think about the greater reach of like them sending in people for it. Yeah, 100%. It's like, yeah, let's get these guys. Yeah.
That sounds very reasonable. I have to check the resources out. That kind of stuff interesting. Yeah, and those are just older modules. The Secret of Bone Hill is a for first edition. L1 is the nomenclature, or the alphanumeric. I'm sorry. It's actually a really good little sandbox. If you're ever wanting to take a dip in something or borrow it, nice little town situated on the mouth of a small river that in a coastal community, quite a ways away from the big docks. It's just a small seaside fishing, not even a fishing community. Surrounded by a couple of hills, big old hill with some ruins up on one hill. Tribe of gnomes or gnolls living over in this ruin, some weird creepy cult living here, and then random encounter tables for like a 40 square mile area. I think it was 30 by 20 rough area. Day jaunt out, you leave Restonford, you go here, you do this, so it's a really nice module setup. L1 is yeah, I try to by the way, if you're new to my channel, check out my YouTube channel. I did a full, probably about a 45-minute review on the Secret of Bone Hill, and I get into a lot of depth about Restonford over there. Shameless plug, I know I saw, but yeah, just to save us a little time. I go into save you a few bucks. Maybe your time is, but yeah, check out L1, the Village of Orlane with the against the Cult of the Reptile God is pretty thick. You guys played it back in the first Houses of Hardbeat. It was the Blue Dyers Village.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So Blue Dyers Village was 100% just a reskin of the Village of Orlane and the module against the Cult of the Reptile God.
Okay.
Everyone's drinking the strange brew, remember? And you guys had started working into the dungeon with the Naga Queen in it.
Yes. Okay.
So that's N1, the Village of Orlane. Okay. So it's actually against Cult of the Reptile God. So yeah. And then Village of Hamlet, be what it is, man. Everyone, everyone should look at that.
There's a newer module.
It was so well done, even though it was an old piece of shit after that. The village itself was good. Everything around it sucked.
there's a newer module, and I can never remember the name of it, but it's one of those that tells you like every member of the like the people who live there. It is mostly kobolds that live there, but like it does actually like tell you. It's like this island.
Dragon's Vice.
It might be that
The
where
Dragons of Stormwrecker Isle or
yes,
something.
I think
Yeah.
it's that. Yeah, it's that one because like it tells you like, oh, this is the lady that runs it. She's actually a bronze dragon, and then like here's the people that are underneath her, and here's the people that own the homes that are on the island. And it
Yeah.
even goes into going like, oh, there's this one kobold who is a rare kobold that has wings, but like her wings were torn to shreds, so she can't fly anymore. Like stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like
Yeah. See, yeah, I mean, those resources are out there sometimes, and let's be honest, very few people are going to remember. I don't remember every name off those fuckers. So maybe just strip these modules and go name job. Ooh, I like the name of that business. I'll add that to their. Ooh, I like the name of this business. Dude, steal away, man. I did a review earlier. There's a 1040 city system that will give you random tables to fill up most any major city with stores, with people, with how they dressed, what do they look like, what's in their freaking pockets. If your people want to go pickpocket crazy, check. Honestly, if you're here now, if you're interested in that one, check my recording. I talked about Waterdeep for a couple hours this morning. Some good tables, some resources in there as well. If you're just wanting to add flavor to your NPCs, how often are you describing what's on their feet? Dirty shoes, big thick boots, walk around barefoot. So and honestly, I don't do it a ton as well, but you having the resources helps.
yeah.
But back to Barovia.
Go
ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to actually say this is something that I stole and I freely give it to everybody. I want everybody to use this, which is I do it as a chain of taverns. They're run by three brothers. They're three Knoll brothers. It's a tavern called the Grassy Knoll, and it's run by the brothers Lee, Harvey, and Oswald.
Shit.
And I freely give that to everyone, and I think it's amazing. And I the way that I do them is they have a magic bell, and if you ding it once, it'll bring in Lee. If you ding it twice, it'll bring in Harvey. And if you ding it 3 times, it'll bring in Oswald. And each of them has like their own personalities. Lee's like the very studious one with like the small like circle frames on his eyes. It's always reading. Like Harvey is kind of like an old school kind of like New York kind of like mob guy. That's like which one kind of guy. And then like Oswald is like this very chubby guy who just loves baking, and he's like always trying to give people food. like that's how I do them. But yeah, they're fun.
Yeah. So Barovia, it's the anti-goth. It's the anti-emo. It's so silly, but I think I've done a pretty good job about keeping it creepy and dark while still keeping it fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's kind of what I'm striving for. I mean, like last week, you guys were so creeped out by the blind map maker, man. It was like I was laughing my ass off, dude. It's like I just wanted someone to ask for a bowl of soup so I could make them do a dexterity save to not get soup spilled in their lap like it happened in Young Frankenstein. And it turned into this whole prophetic, oh my God, everyone kisses dude's ass. He's like, are you sure you don't want soup? Please, sir, just point us a pointer. Can we just find a map, kind sir? Yes, of course. I don't know how y'all were so creeped out, but I was also making fun of the Simpsons episode with Cletus where I just whittle what I see. He's got the bear all chewing on fucking Chief Wiggum. So there's all kinds of creepy ass wood carved statues. Like if you think about, the chainsaw type wood statues, that's what they were seeing out there, and a blind man was doing them. So yeah, it was a creepy thing, I guess.
Yeah. I knew what you were going for when we went in, but I was like, I'm not going to spoil this. Like,
yeah. Oh, everyone was so creeped out about it.
I loved it. Yeah,
it was fun. It was great, But yeah, a lot of pop culture references, a lot of silliness, and I'm having a great time doing it. And I'm very grateful to have a group that's they just along for the ride. But more than that, they're doing a really good job of steering it as well. I'm getting a lot to work with. The crying episode just.
Everybody starts crying.
We had to hey, no problem. Appreciate you being here. All over the various internets trying to find the stuffs. Yeah, if you can find them tonight, great. Because we got to wrap up in about 30. If you don't have luck, if you want to grab back in tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. I've got them in my collection, the 3 books I told you about. Feel free to buy them yourself because I'm just wanting to tell you tomorrow as well. But we can do a preview and a dig in tomorrow. I talk about Planescape or whatever, but when anyone jumps in and wants to chat, that's what we do. So yeah.
And you guys are gonna get a hell of a lot of Planescape next week too, because the new book comes out on Tuesday.
Yes, disclaimers. Yes, everyone enjoy the last non-playing. I'm kidding. I'm looking forward to getting my copies of it from the simple fact now that I know I'll be able to talk about what's in the books for an episode or two because I'll say go to this, go to that. If blah blah blah, we already talked about it, but now I'll know what not to have to waste time talking about that they're not going to present.
Yeah,
you follow what I'm saying? So
absolutely,
for me, it's a positive. It's a good thing. This is what's available to everybody. Hey guys, here's some information that goes from here to there. So that's what I'm looking for.
I'm super interested in looking at this
James,
time
thank
dragon.
you for being here. Chronepsis.
I haven't gotten a chance to look at it yet, but like just a time dragon sounds horrifying to me.
I never told you about Chronepsis.
I don't think so.
Homie's got a lair out on the Outlands, and he's got whenever a new dragon is born, hourglass magically appears, and it starts ticking down the sands of said dragon's life. He's a dragon. He's basically a god. He's a dragon god. He sits outside of the circle of Tiamat and Bahamut, monitoring the life cycle of every single dragon that's born through the multiverse. I want to say his name was Chronepsis. I might be slightly off. We'll look it up.
That's cool. Yeah, I definitely want to look into that.
Know, yeah, I've done a little bit of a few peeks into the thing, and it was like I remember me telling, "Hello, LOL." They brought Shemeska. They gave Shemeska a stat block. Shit, that means she's gonna be a big bad, man, and it's a suitable big bad. She's a mean thingies. I'm pissed off they didn't bring Zadara though. I like Zadara.
I've also been seeing a lot of like from that the skull thing where it's like Mort says like kind of like things like
yeah. Well, remember the Planeswalker's Guide to the Outlands I sent you guys. There's that little thing. There's a card in there that talks about the reference to the CD. The original book came with an audio CD that had Mort's voice reading off of all of the shit to you. So they're completely mimicking that from the original books. So many cool things, times, dragons. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I'm glad that everyone else is getting there. I guess I should say because we're playing right there anyway. But yeah, Curse of what we do in the Shadows of Barovia. I've got so much dumb shit planned for this, but I'm hoping to do a pretty good job about. No, I ain't doing a good job. This is gonna be as fucked up as any Mel Brooks movie ever. You know.
But it's a good time so far. We have we have Jerry Squawks. You know they're a Grave Domain cleric. Squawks is just kind of a Kinku that is very quiet, very soft spoken, very rarely talks at all. And then Jerry is kind of like the fast talking kind of like used car salesman type. That is they are very complete opposites. I was dying last episode where Squawks was like, well, I mean, we have to probably help her or something like that. And then he's like, yeah, we can help her into a hole. Like
Sam does the most amazing job of arguing with herself.
It's amazing, yeah.
She does a great job with that. So that's their cleric.
Yep.
And then we have Imogen, the wizard, who's like, let it all fucking burn. You know, the easy way to fix this, and that's with fire.
Yeah, she's a very short fuse and very little patience for stupid shit.
yes, and it's hilarious. And then we've got John Wayne, the alchemist.
John Wayne, Tyrone
Dellis. And I little lady, I kind of think that you might be in trouble. Don't start! You hear screaming from the fucking wizard. Oh god, it's so good. And then we've got you playing what? Cosmar, the psycho kobold.
I'm a kobold who got like a brief glimpse at an eldritch god, and it just drove him insane.
So we've got. So that's the foursome that's playing through this. It's a well balanced group. The alchemist is able to hang through. The grave cleric can both tank and deal, or tank and heal. Excuse me. The wizard is shit slow go boom. And the warlock is shit slow go boom.
Yep.
So it's a pretty well balanced group. There's enough stuff that that campaign's I wish we could get you in purple. I wish we could get you in if your schedule lined up with it, man. I know they totally let you.
100%. I would love to have Cindy in there. She's good. Absolutely. Yeah. Cindy's
one. Well, here's the other thing. She's gonna get most of my references. The few references you guys don't get. She'll be able to catch just because it's not so much anything she lives with me. She's seen all the crap that I've seen way too many times for anyone's own sanity. Poor woman. You know.
I mean,
But yeah,
and I live
we
with
do, we
work, and I
don't
think
go a
it's
session without there being a breakdown into a Kung Pao sequence. Ever,
damn
ever.
for
Can't help it.
this whole last like because we didn't play last week, did we?
Yeah, we did.
We did. Okay, yeah. So yeah, this whole last week, Sam has been fucking quoting Thomas, which is him going, "Catfish, you lying bitch." she keeps saying that shit.
Oh god, the job is dangerous when you took it. You're right. Oh man, yeah. So that the campaign, if you number one, we're talking a lot about the laughs, but first and foremost, I think I do a pretty good job producing it on as far as the visuals go. The players are very strong in knowing how to play their classes. So not only is it entertaining, gameplay mechanic wise, it's got a really good pace, and they do a good job of playing their characters. There's not, it's I can already see there being like, yeah, throw the combat rating out the window at level 5 because it won't matter for these guys anymore. They're well put together and well played. But that's a good campaign. I'm having such a good time being a crazy ass goober with it. You guys are just fucking. I can't even say along for the ride. They're like putting their hands out and feet out, and making it go faster and shit, man.
100%.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
great.
we're Flintstone in that car.
Oh yeah, dude, it's awesome, dude. It is so good. It is so good. So I would recommend not playing tonight. Family stuff going on for me, but yeah, typically every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central to 10 p.m. Central. Check out over on Grizzly 10 Fins channel for a good time.
8 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Occasionally creepy, sometimes gross, but almost always hilarious.
Yeah. We're all so looking forward to getting to New Valaki just so we can interact with Nandor and
Naja, Nandor, and Haslo.
Yeah.
Dude, I have big stuff planned for Guillermo, man.
Oh, I can't wait too. I love Guillermo.
Gizmo, where are you?
Just that guy, I like him. Like I've been seeing him in other stuff lately. I like him. He's a good actor.
Yeah. So yeah, I made the reference last time the blind map maker was talking. Yeah, I update it sometimes. There I guess there's a new organization over in Krezk, the Krezk Werewolf Support Group, and every fan of the show starts losing their shit right at that point.
I'm kind of upset that nobody got my windmill thing last week because I was talking about windmills look like dragons. It's a Don Quixote reference. Don Quixote. Yeah, and like everybody was like, "What?" Yeah.
No, I knew exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay, good.
As soon as you started talking about it,
yeah.
They were more focused on. I thought he said the hags weren't going to be here. That's what they were. I think everyone was freaking out about. He said the hags were going to be here. What the fuck? Grandma Hag chased him out. Because yeah, Baba Yaga and Igwilv are trapped here. Baba Yaga wants to be here. Igwilv is like stuck on a fucking vacation with her mom with no cell phone that she can't leave.
Oh man,
that's where this woman is right now.
Man, I just want to get into the Baba Yaga's hut. I think that shit's gonna be so cool. Like, you told me about one door inside of her place, and I'm like, I want to go. I want to go to this place. Shit's scary.
Yes, we do have the Dancing Hut of Baba Yaga as represented in the module S5 that's been ported over as well. Strahd's there. Yeah, you know that one. That means you're cool, man. But yeah, so Strahd is obviously the antagonist of it, but after aeons and aeons and eons and millennia of the same kind of idiots coming through messing up, he's so over it. It's like, if I could kill myself, I would. I just fucking wake up tomorrow and charge this fucking place.
Yep.
I've tried.
Yeah.
So he's ready for a change, but there's nothing capable of changing in the world. Hell, I even threw the D&D kids from the old 80s cartoon into it. If you're spoilers, if you know the original Curse of Strahd, the Arcanvist Revenants have been replaced with the D&D kids from the cartoon. They have to try to find their weapons and unite them and blah blah blah. So we're gonna have a bunch of fun, but it's a bunch of bad movie references, a bunch of bad TV show references. Yeah, it's just a bunch of bad, just like cringeworthy, laughably bad moments. So yes, let's very much so.
I was so part of so. This is just a side tangent. Sam and I are doing horror weekends this whole month, and we're doing costumes every Saturday. But she just handed me part of one of my costumes. Just came in and they fucking vacuum sealed the damn thing. So like, I was over here trying to open it, and I'm like, "Wow, good job, guys." I'm afraid to open it just because it's just gonna fucking poof up.
Poof. That's awesome. Keep it in storage until you need it. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
But I want to try it on. I bought a cloak.
Uh-oh, we're gonna watch him. A de-vacuuming, huh? Is that what we'll call this? Not a deboxing, but a de-vacuuming.
I got it open already.
I didn't doubt you. It was just plastic. I would.
It's not really fully a cloak per se, but it's like super long, and it
looks like Long John, man. It looks like the old farmer.
But it's got the
red
fun, like
with the
on the side of it.
Oh man, yeah, with the trap door on the back with the buttons and shit. Hell yeah, that's funny.
If anybody can guess what my costume is going to be early, then they get a prize.
I know, but I won't say because you told me, so that would be bad.
Well, that one's gonna be my next week one.
Then I would have lost as well if I would have tried. So psych, never mind.
Yeah.
All right, so
I don't know how the fuck to get this thing on. Well, I can't find the bottom of it.
So yeah, we talked about a couple of the old campaigns, Waterdeep, and we definitely want to revisit that someday.
Oh, 100%.
Just if we could get the same vibe going on and say fuck the questions, just have fun living in that city. That was hands down one of my most. I really enjoyed that campaign. That's probably the ones I've had to put down. That's probably the one I miss the most. Avernus was good, great pace, great gameplay, great strategy. Scheduling sucks for what it is.
Oh hell, I forgot how.
You ain't gonna be able to put that on over your hat and your headphone, man. What the shit? Are you watching this guy right now?
I had it on. I was like, I went to put it on. I was like, wait, hold on. I can put the hat on. It's just not.
I went octaves up and ended up peaking, dude. Okay. Okay. There we go. Damn. What's up, son? All right. There we go. Cool. It looks warm.
I'm stuck. It's like rolled up in the sleeve, so I'm trying to
like That's funny as hell. All right, so last one I guess is our one we're playing tomorrow. I believe we're playing tomorrow.
Yes, I certainly hope so.
There's a tiny chance with one of our players. She said that she'd update me, but she's trying to do the best she can to make it. But Broken Sigil, Sigil of Fate, Broken Fate, Fate of Broken Sigil, Sigil of Sigil, whatever we're calling it.
Yeah, the rebroken.
Planescape-based campaign. Yeah, Broken Sigil.
Yeah, we started off with Broken Sigil, and so now this is the rebroken Sigil because it's us doing it.
Yeah, honestly, the two plots are entirely different. The first one, the first time we took a run at it, I was basically, and I'm so pissed off because it's like if you hear about it, you're like, oh, like Loki. Nah, bitches, I made it first. But anyway, I'm kidding. But it was literally that kind of a situation. They were working as agents of the Lady's Council, the Lady of Pain. She normally stays above and all else. Basically, I was going with the cosmology of what was her name, Mystra, the goddess of fate from Greyhawk.
Yes.
And everyone wonders why Mechanus is there. Mechanus is the gigantic machine. So I made it almost like, if you could imagine, if they would have ever seen it, the scene from Interstellar with the gigantic Tesseract room with all the threads.
Yeah.
That machine is weaving the threads of fate and the threads of universe, past, present, and future. Whenever there's a snag, whenever there was a tangle, whenever there's a tear, we had to send these dudes out to do it. So I was using Sigil as a home base to send the party to, like, Mystara from the Beckney worlds. We'd go to Dark Sun. We'd go to Dragonlance. We'd go to Faerun. We'd go to and so we were gonna do like short adventures set through the multiverse using Sigil as a hub. That sounded fun. It just, life happens. It didn't work out. So our next stab was
to bring Mon back sometime, though. I loved playing Mon.
Yeah, Mon was a great character. You guys all did a good job with that. It was just fucking schedules, man. Life happens. Thursdays have been bad.
Yeah, Thursdays are
except for the so far Lord willing with the Strahd group, but that's been the casualties like every other Thursday groups. Anyway, So the modern itineration is they are playing as either Outlanders or Sigil. It doesn't matter where they're playing. We basically got them in and out of Sigil in 3 or 4 days, kicked them to the Outlands, and now they're out there stomping around in the Beastlands.
Yeah.
Um,
That was one of them that like at the start of it was very, very slow getting going, but that's just it really was just the characters we were playing. Like 2 of us were playing characters. Well, no, all 4 of us. We started off with 4 people, and all of us were playing such passive characters that like we couldn't move the story along because we'd be like, "Oh well, it looks like you got that handled. Good luck." Like all of us, like.
And honestly, as a DM, I was flummoxed, man. I'm like, I play with all of these people.
Yeah.
These people all play together regularly. They're all good players. I am like fucking beating them over the head with the chair that says, "Plot, please take this from me." And they're like,
Yep.
Oh man, I was going nuts.
Watched a man turn into a tiger, and we were like, "Wow, you should probably get that looked into, man." Like, it was not happening for some reason.
So that, you know, I mean, but that's a learning moment. We're still running the campaign. 3 of the 4, no, all 4 players are here. 2 of them are still playing the same characters. 2 of them have changed. No, one, I'm sorry, Andrew's no longer in the campaign.
Correct.
Been replaced with Katie and Phil. Life happens. It is what it is. But so there is a pretty good shift in the characters and the personalities as the campaign's gone, which has definitely helped.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, that's a picture of when you're a DM and you say, "Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it." Number 1, remember, you're not going to have any control other than literally brute force to make a group work together. You're not going to have any control other than brute force to make them accept a job, to make them bite on the hook, accept the mission, even care about what you're doing. So if you do get that group of 4 really super passive, compliant people, you know, that's just as dangerous as the one overbearing person.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
But
so yeah, that was stagnant for a couple months, man. Then we kind of
I like
got to
I
re-jump.
was about to say I like where we are now with it though. Like it's a good time. I'm liking it a lot so far.
Yeah. That was the other thing. And now, to be fair, some of the stumbling in the out the gate, and we're being honest, we're talking about our campaigns, was on me. I tried to do so much fucking exposition, and I think it got to the point where it was minimizing the players for the first few sessions.
To be fair, like Sigil's a lot. Like it's a lot, and like to really deal with it, you need that kind of exposition, or all of us needs to individually go and read, 20 pages of lore for the place,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But the if you kind of do it the other way, if you're gonna, that's going to be advice I'm going to give you right now. If you're planning on running a Sigil-based campaign, and Josh hit it right there on the nail. Either you need to prepare some notes for your group and pray that they'll read them, or tell them, "I'll do this for you, but you have to do this. Otherwise, it won't work because you guys get bored because I have to tell you about everything that you should know because you've lived here your whole life."
Yeah.
And Sigil is not like growing up in the streets of Baldur's Gate. I was a waif, and I'm a scallywag from a pirate crew from yada yada yada, and I grew up here.
That might actually be why they're going for the whole like you're an amnesiac thing. That might be why they're doing that, because that way you don't have to know anything about it.
So yeah, that to be fair, yeah. I mean, you could play in Waterdeep and play Dragon Heist and run the scenario as written in Dragon Heist and know nothing about Waterdeep, the biggest city on the Sword Coast, and do an okay job with it. You can do the same thing with Sigil, but it's a little less believable because when your party is walking uphill, wherever they go, they're walking uphill. Wherever they go, they're walking uphill. Wherever they look, they're going to see a city above them. Wherever they look, they're going to see the city curving to the left and to the right of them, unless they're spireward. And then they see an endless sheet of gray, misty fog that no one truly knows where it lands. You can't just play that off like you're walking down the street of Baldur's Gate. There's nowhere to say it's like this other than maybe saying it's like that movie from the scene from Inception where the city folds on itself. That's about as close as you're going to be able to get to it. Or Doctor Strange with all the foldy shit. That's about as close as you get visualization.
Maybe a Halo from the Halo series, but that doesn't really encompass it very much. But like,
no, because it's not urban enough, and it's not fully encasing you.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
the
I mean,
other thing.
they are, but and you can look up and see the grass and stuff like that, but they're way well. Not, they're not, I'm not going to say they're way bigger, but like there's not enough
They are.
city space or anything like that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So that was mistake, balance, whatever, testing. It doesn't matter. I'm actually running 2 sigil campaigns right now, ironically. One with my friends Friday nights, and then one up at the local. I can't say local. Carrollton's not that local. It's close. One out at the gaming store. And same thing I learned from them. Don't spend too much time in sigil, even if they want to start there. Get them in, get them out, go do some shit outside, pop them back in for a brief look, pop them back out.
and that might be a better way to actually go about it, because that way you can give them that information in like digestible chunks. Yeah.
All right. Canes is kicking back in. A thing I found a bit scary about playing for the first time was that I have no real idea what is what in this world I suddenly find myself in. Like I almost like a child in terms of understanding, especially the people and the social norms and laws of the land. Yeah, that's. Now the thing with that is, go ahead, Josh. You look like you're about to say something. I talk way too much.
No. I was gonna say no. I can get that kind of feeling for it. But like it really is gonna depend, because like we could both like Jim and I could both run the same module, and I don't think that we would run it the same way. Like we might not have people interact with people the same way, and it would just it really depends on the rest of the team, like the rest of the party that you're with, like how they're gonna react to stuff.
That kind of stuff. Yeah, when you first jump in, hopefully moving forward, as whether that was your first time or moving forward, you have the session zeros, and that should be something that you address as a group during your session zero. Is there a bunch of lore here? Where is the setting? Can I do some reading to understand? And I mean, I'm a kind of a dungeon master. I'm the guy that says, here's $80 worth of PDFs if you guys want to learn something about this so you can be a little bit more educated and save some time. I love the idea of sharing knowledge with my players. They know they're not obligated, but they know the information's there. So, Kames, ask your DM. You know, can I read the Sword Coast Adventure Guide if we're doing Lost Mines of Phandelver? Is that going to hurt anything? Because I want to be a soldier background from Tribor. What do I need to know for that? I think that's very fair, and more importantly, I think that adds to the world.
Absolutely.
Because you're part of the world. You have engagement, investment in the world.
And it really adds to your characters too. It doesn't just feel like you plopped it, any random character down into a world. If you're like, no, I'm tied to this place, I know this information about the area that I'm from, like kind of stuff that helps build your character as well.
Yeah, but that's a shared responsibility. Number one, that's obviously the DM being responsible and picking a setting and giving you the framework to work in, and allowing you to either do the research yourself and bring it to them, or provide you the information that you would know as a local. But yeah, that's until you know where you're playing and what you're allowed to. Yeah, your hands are kind of tied. Like I said, even in the paid campaigns I'm running, they're kind of pickup. Anyone can sign up and pick up a ticket. I had a brand new guy start last night. We're in a crypt, like the room before they get to the fucking boss, Flame Skull. It was where we shut our session off last time. Brand new player, brand new character, brand new everything came in. Do you know anything about the setting? Nah. Do you know anything about anything? No, not yet. Okay. So, and call this improvisation, call this sheer luck, call it whatever. Just so you know, Josh, they're playing Greyhawk, so they're doing the Star Cairns. The first thing, they're chasing down the doppelgangers.
Okay.
They went the wrong way because I wanted to stretch it out because I'm getting paid. I want it to last for 16 years.
Fair enough. I don't blame you. Not even
I'm sorry. But so they went down the wrong trail, and as they were going down the trail, there was a burned up, beat up body. And then they got closer to this cairn, and there was another one. So, and I had a Flame Skull planned for being in there. Okay. So a new character, I'm like, okay, I'm going to put you in this sarcophagus. About 2 days ago, you and your friends came in here to rob the place. Just adventurers. Something went sideways. You fought the defenders. You got to the end. They ran when the fireball went off. You were running. You hid. You something bonked you on the head. You went unconscious. The monsters chased your friends out. You hid in this sarcophagus until you heard voices. He's like, okay, cool. So, I mean, that's the kind of jump start that you got to do on a pickup game, man.
Yeah.
But he shoehorned him right in. So I'm able to drip feed in because he's playing the. I know I came in here with some friends, but I don't remember. I took a pretty good shot to the head. So as we play through, through Discord, through a little gameplay, I can drip feed him information that he can build his background around.
Yeah.
But everyone else, go read the fucking book if you want to know more. If not, I'll tell you what you need to know. It's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, and that can really like inform his character too, because he might be a coward,
Yeah.
I mean, that could,
Yeah. It's up to him to play. But yeah, I love the idea of you guys engaging in the world and having backgrounds and having ties and having knowledge. Kames, and yeah, ask for it. Don't be afraid to ask for the information. Ask for your limitations, because there might be some DMs. And number one, I'm going to tell you that I don't say there's a lot of red flags on DMs, but if the DM says, no, I don't want you reading the monster manual. I only want you reading about your class in the player's handbook. I don't want you to know about the setting. I don't want you to have a map to the world. Those are red flags. If a DM's going to gatekeep knowledge that's going to encourage you to engage and enjoy the game, that might be a situation right off the bat, That makes you responsible for not going, wait a minute. Monster Manual says Skeleton had 13 hit points. We did 18 damage. Why is it still alive? Because that's going to piss a DM off.
Yeah. And that is one thing. No problem. Go ahead, read your monster manual. Don't do it while you're at the table, though. Like, don't do it while you're in the middle of fighting a monster. Go, like, what's this monster's stats? Like, don't be that guy,
Yeah. And as you're playing, as you're learning, as we engage a monster, I'll read the exact attack out as they're experiencing it. Peryton has a flyby. Whenever the Peryton attacks while it's flying, it cannot provoke opportunity attacks. So I'm flying by and hitting you. Second attack, I'm continuing on the second attack on my flyby and hitting you. Man, you're a dick. I know. But at least, you're not being arbitrary about it. You're reading it out as a player. A lot of DMs say that's bad form, man. Why are you telling them the stat? Want them to learn. Want them to have fun. Want them to go, wow, that's a cool fucking monster, dude.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, like, if they don't know what it does, how do they know what they're reacting to, or like why it's doing anything that it's doing?
Yeah.
Like, because I'd be pissed off if you were like, oh, I'm gonna fly by you, I'm gonna hit you, you don't get a reaction. What? Why not? Like, what? Like, players are gonna ask you these questions.
Yeah, exactly. So as a DM, you could always say, "'Cause I said so," and most players will kind of roll their eyes and go, "Okay, whatever." But when you can actually give them the information, that builds a level of trust with you and the players. And yeah, this DM's going to play by the rules as much as possible. He's going to play fair. He's not going to come up with shit. But then they also understand as they get higher level that, yeah, I got to come up with some new shit because y'all are whipping ass. But they trust you to do it. Because you're not doing it arbitrarily to be a pain in their ass. You're doing it because you need to for the sense of the story, the campaign, the challenge, whatever.
Yeah.
So, I'm like I said, I'm a big believer in sharing information with the players, and it should be including setting, including background, including the ability to make your character part of the fucking world that you're going to be trying to save for the next 2 years.
Yeah,
absolutely
and
ask for that.
Yeah, and just like how you're like, it doesn't limit you as far as monsters either, because just like how like your players are able to be unique and individual and they can grow, so can monsters. Just because it goes, oh, this goblin has what I can't remember their armor class. I want to say it's like 13.
Armor class 13 with hide and a small shield, and hit points of 8. No, 11.
Yeah, because I was thinking armor class is 13. Okay, yeah, but like, there's no reason you can't go, okay, well, now he's got heavy armor on, and his armor class is 16. Like, there's no reason you can't do that, and that's perfectly fine. So
always remember,
as a DM at all.
Yeah, so as DMs, you got a lot of flexibility, so don't let that discourage you from letting your players read the books. As players, I got to finish up here in the next couple minutes. Yes. I got to finish right on 5:30 today, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Well, 5:30 to 5:35. Now we got a couple minutes to play with if we're in comments. But yeah, man. To be able to engage in the setting and to help build the story collaboratively, you guys got to know the setting as players. I'm a big fan of that. I mean, I probably, if we're being honest, looking at each other in the camera, I probably have higher expectations for my players than is fair, because I have all the information, and it's like, here, let me give you this. Here, did you read this? Oh, you read that? Here's 16 more. Did you read all those? You only read 2 of them? Well, here, just let me give you 5 more this time so you can read the other 14 that you didn't read yet, you know?
Oh yeah,
So,
and there's
you know,
I don't think there's ever been a time that I've come up with something that you've not been like, okay, well, here's a book about that, and been able to just send it to me. Like for instance, because we're talking about our sigil campaign, like Sasu, like I'm playing the samurai. I wanted to do honor bound stuff, and Jim's like, oh, they did that. Here's a fucking honor code. Like like
yeah. Uh, yeah, Canes, as we're closing out, I did try not to read up on too much because I was afraid of spoiling myself on stuff after a few months of not playing. I've poked around quite a bit now. Yeah, now the key is if you know you're about to go play Out of the Abyss,
don't read Out of the Abyss.
yeah, you don't necessarily want to follow along with the campaign through Out of the Abyss. There are spoilers, there are things like that. That is fair, but things like Sword Coast Adventures Guide, the Gray Box Edition stuff, anything from the older editions, shit, Google, man. I mean, just get in on some of the Forgotten Realms wikis. I know a lot of people like Wikiblood. There's a lot of good information out there for you.
Yeah.
And even if it's even if the date's wrong or the name's a little bit off, if it's just giving you some information to help you immerse yourself, take it, you know?
Yeah.
Because
It's
the
okay.
other thing,
Give it a decade, and they're going to change the person's backstory any fucking way. So, you know.
I was about to say, the other thing, especially, and I don't want to sound like I'm picking on Forgotten Realms, but 160-year timeline, been a lot of shit that's happened, both that makes sense and that is absolutely beyond the realm of reasonable sense. But it doesn't matter. You're not actually going to be sure where the timeline is. So the best thing you can do if you're doing your own research is just kind of get the high points and guess, and then adjust to wherever the actual setting is. The older stuff's very interesting. I hope if I ever DM, I can drag up monsters the players never heard of. Take a look at the second edition Monstrous Supplement series. You're saying, well, isn't that a fifth edition? Yeah, because it worked really good for second. They're doing the same fucking thing right now. Yeah. Monstrous Supplements coming out for each thing. There was 18 of them. I want to say 894 official monsters, non-module monsters that were released as supplements.
I do appreciate that 5e is finally doing that, where they're like, oh, here's some extra monsters. Like, it might only be 15, 20 monsters, but it's like, hey, that's 15, 20 that we didn't have, you know?
Yeah. And yeah, I love the older stuff as well, Kames. It lets me make it mine. And I don't have to worry about what's going to come later. Like I always joke about, but I'm dead serious about it. Forgotten Realms campaigns for me start in 1368. Because my default answer for anything is, well, what about, yeah, it hadn't happened yet. Be cool when it does. Well, what about Drizzt? It hadn't happened yet. Be cool when it does. What about Baldur's Gate 2? It hadn't happened yet. Be cool when it does, though. And so, number one, you can turn all that stuff into cool shit that you can do later. Number two, you're not affecting your players' views of the world or that content. Number three, you get to ignore the influence of that on your world. So timeline adjustments on their own can give you the freedom to enjoy specific things or avoid specific things, man. Nothing says we have to all be playing on the same date in the world either.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, let's be fair. Feudalism lasted a real long time, so you can play shit basically anywhere.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. So, use some timeline manipulation if you need to find yourself some freedom in a campaign, or if you like the older stuff, and you want to set it there, there's nothing stopping you from doing it. As long as you're able to provide a consistent experience for your players, they're not going to care.
Yeah. I mean, and you're free to homebrew whatever the hell you want. You
end of the day, yeah.
You can set it in the same time period that's currently going on and go, okay, well, yeah, well, that's just a different universe. Sorry, that didn't happen here.
Yep. Absolutely, easy. Absolutely. So DM wise, just communicate with your players. Players, just ask your DMs. But a lot of times, like, does everyone understand that? And it's like, it's okay to say no. It's okay to ask more questions.
Absolutely.
So
I think that's something that stops a lot of new players, is they're afraid that people are going to be like, oh, you should know this information already. But like, I think most people are genuinely pretty okay with like, no, here, let me show you, let me teach you. So far, I've not run into anybody who's so gatekeepy about this game where they're just like, figure it out,
Well, honestly, let's out there though. Think about when we first started playing as an OG play group.
Yeah,
there was a little bit of that alpha male pissing going on until you guys remembered that I realized that, oh, dude, this dude does truly have a fucking encyclopedia. Okay, but you guys taught me a lot about 5e. there's a lot of stuff that I was like, well, 1E, well, we're not playing 1E, Jim. So there was a lot of conversion for me at the same time. So, that is a thing. But when you're doing it in the interest of helping each other learn and not the interest of establishing gatekeeping dominance, it's taken in a different format. You're able to grow off of each other. But yeah, the amount of knowledge can be intimidating. But trust your DM to guide you. And if you don't feel like your DM is being fair in that guidance, bring that up to them. And if they say tough shit, this is my world, I'll tell you what you need to know when you need to know it. Then you got to make that decision. Do I want to play with this guy because I'm not going to be able to engage with the world unless he lets me? Or it might be time to find another table that I can explore the lore without feeling guilty?
Yeah. And it's good to find places where you can actually learn that stuff. Because I mean, like look at Sam. Sam's been playing for 2 months now and is already kicking ass as her character. Already knows what she's doing and shit. Because she was willing to ask those questions, like, "Hey, how does this work? What does this mean when it says this?" Kind of stuff. And everybody's been able to help her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's not So don't think that you're limiting to game mechanics on that, man. That can be setting information. That can be monster lore. That can be, whatever you want. We're all, when you're sitting at the table to play with each other, we're playing a collaborative game, building a story, building and enjoying an experience together.
Yeah. You'll see me through that whole campaign, like mute myself just because she'll ask me a question like, what is that? Like, how do you guys know what this is? And I'll be like, okay, well, this is just like a kind of like a common thing, and this is why we know this information, kind of stuff, and this is what it's about, just little stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like you'll see constantly.
Yeah, because especially when you have a brand new player, like brand new to the entire system, joining a game with a bunch of people that played for a while, much less played together for a while, there is the potential for a lot of the stuff that's we take on reflex, muscle memory, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, absolutely.
That you got to take a stop, kind of take a pause, unpack it, and unwind it, and explain it to the new player. It's an obligation, man. Share the love and spread the love for the game. The only way you can do that is being helpful about helping people learn it. Being positive about helping them. There shouldn't be a okay for the umpteenth time, and I've been guilty about doing that. That's why I get Rule 271 quite often when I start getting into, are we really going over the bonus action with 2-weapon fighting? Right. You're right. I'm sorry. That's shitty.
I mean, and then because he's like I mean, there's stuff like okay, so all of us know
there's
that
so much shit you can't know at all.
Right, exactly. But I mean, and there's so much like common knowledge that we take for granted, like where it's like, oh, a troll attacks us. Well, we know that we can hit it with fire and it can't heal. But like a brand new player is not going to know that. They're going to have no fucking idea that that's how you can fight a troll. Like they have no clue. And so like you have to be able to like willing to share this information with these people so that they can engage and have fun in the game.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, man, whether you're a DM or whether you're a player, I know we've been, like I said, just kind of going back and forth bullshitting about our campaigns. Shameless plugs to come watch them all.
Absolutely.
Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, Friday nights, U.S. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. each of them. But part of that is I spend a lot of time on my channel and with Josh's channel talking about D&D, so it's an opportunity for you guys to see what I talk about in practice, and also see that even people that have been played together for a long time know a lot about the game. We still have our good sessions, we still have our bad sessions.
Well, there's times where we disagree about how things work, like I can't tell you how many times we've had conversations about flanking, like where everybody's like, no, this is how flanking works. No, this is how flanking works. Well, actually, if you read the rules, you guys are getting lucky with how you're being able to use flanking right now. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's probably the biggest mantra. What does the spell say? What does the ability say?
Finish reading it. Because like so many of us are like, okay, does this much damage? Okay, I'm gonna do this thing real quick.
But that's just to show, like I said, I mean, I guess officially I'm a professional dungeon master now, but I'm also a dungeon master for friends and family groups. But it doesn't matter your experience level, your knowledge. You're going to have mistakes, you're going to have ups, you're going to have downs. Come join us and have some fun and enjoy our ups, our downs, our mistakes, our goods, our bads as we're playing around in real time. I promise you, I'm usually, because Josh is like the boss, he keeps the stream running, he does everything, so I can just focus on the game. But we've also got, there's a couple of us that got chat up at any given time. We'd love to hear from,
Absolutely.
LOL. Is that a tabaxi on your screen? Yeah, I know, right? He got big. Excuse me.
no,
Thanks for joining us, Bungo.
absolutely.
Bumbo.
And
Go
yeah,
ahead.
even during our streams, if you guys want to chat in and say stuff to us, like we might not answer you immediately, but I mean, we'll probably get to you probably when we're going on break, coming back from break, stuff like that. If we get a chance, like I say hi to people sometimes. Like Phil regularly comes in to our Thursday night streams, and I'm like, yeah, hey Phil, what's going on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, feel free. We'll talk
Yeah.
to people. We'll say hello.
Jump in on the D&D live streams over on Grizzly 10 Finch channel. The Tabaxi over on my side. That would be like if he was a Maine Coon version of a Tabaxi, right?
Hell yeah.
But anyway. Oh, oh shit, new character idea incoming. Damn it! Son of a bitch!
I've never played a Tabaxi. I've never played a barbarian. We might do this.
Oh fuck. Bun, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. You're perfect on. There he get cat ears in a D&D stream, therefore Tabaxi.
Hell yeah.
And thus the next character has been born for our buddy Josh. But guys, a lot of fun. I unfortunately do have to dip out here in a second. Real life family kind of stuff happens. Thanks for joining us. Kames, awesome. Thank you for joining. Bun, thank you for dropping in too. Sorry, we're finishing up here. If you're sitting back there lurking, appreciate you guys sharing your time with me, sharing your time with us. Josh, thank you for joining me. It's always fun.
I love these.
A lot of time getting in and having a good chat and having a bunch of laughs along the process. You guys do the likes, the follows, the subscribes. Down on the about stuff. Come join me over on YouTube. Man, I think I'm at 179. You could pop over there and make me number 180. That would be fucking badass. All joking aside, thank you for your time. Thank you guys for being here.
Yeah. And on my side, I do all the streaming for our sessions, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday nights. I do that stuff. Other than this Thursday chat that I do with Jim, I do gaming as well on my channel. I'm loosely a variety gamer. I kind of play different stuff. But right now I'm playing through the Kingdom Hearts series. I'm almost done with Chain of Memories, which I might just quit, honestly, because I'm tired of it. But
he's a serial gamer. He'll play 1 through 26 of a game and then he'll go. So he's a variety only because there's like 17 versions of the game.
That's what I'm saying. Kind of a variety gamer, because like a variety gamer just plays a bunch of different games. But like I will play a bunch of different games, but I'm typically trying to play through series right now so that people can see them all as a whole. But after
we need to take
a couple. What the fuck I'm doing?
We need to take a couple more runs at Payday 3 and
I was going to actually say that.
I got to tone me down a little bit because I'll get us banned. I went way off the reservation last time we played. Man down, it's murder 1. Go, go, go!
But no, I'm down. I was actually gonna ask if you wanted to do that stream us being really bad at Payday.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it. But yeah. Hey guys, I do got to dip here, got dinner in a little bit. Thank you for being here. Catch up with me tomorrow. Karen's, anyone else, if you want to talk some more D&D, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And catch up with us tomorrow night for some sigil.
We also both have Discords if you guys want to join us. There's that.
Oh, you know what? I should do that real quick before I shop off.
Yeah.
And you should do it too.
Oh, mine's linked on my page. You guys can follow me on my page.
It was mine, but I like doing it here just because that's one of the few macros I can do that doesn't shut down my stream on accident. Leave the old man alone. Damn.
Fair.
Y'all be safe. We'll see you soon.
All right, everybody.